Hey, what's up, guys? Morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope everyone is well. Get this camera in a good position here. Still not in a good position. There we go. How are you doing? Hello, hello, hello. So I've got on the way a lot of figures. Got the regular Hawkeye coming, Rocket, um, War Machine Mark 6, Black Widow, in game, and Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man homemade suit. So those are coming. A couple of them will actually be here supposedly next week. So next Saturday, obviously, we'll have something planned. In the meantime, while I've been waiting for the last 6 months for COVID to start delivering figures, I ended up buying a figure that I really wanted, and I should have bought when it was brand new directly from one of the retailers, and I just never got around to it. And I didn't want to spend any money during the COVID shutdown because, well, I knew figures were going to be coming, so I tried not to buy anything. I mean, it really was tempting for all those months of nothing to just buy something. I ended up buying this, and I bought it off of eBay used and paid almost the same price as if I had bought it from one of the stores that sold it new. So um, it's used, and I tell you the reason I bought it is because I'm a Deadpool fan. Now, I became a Deadpool fan from Ryan Reynolds' version of Deadpool, Fox movie Deadpool. I was not, I knew of Deadpool. I've seen the comics, I'd seen the games, I knew who Deadpool was, but I didn't really know Deadpool. But I did know that he came from a copy of Deathstroke, literally. It's almost a joke the way that they did that. So, with Deadpool having all his multiple incarnations and all the different Earths of every type of Deadpool, well, the DC Earth, this is really Deadpool as far as I'm concerned. So Deathstroke came first, and then I think his name is Slade Wilson, and then Marvel copied and made Wade Wilson, and I think through different opinions of people, if Deadpool and Deathstroke were to fight, Deadpool would probably win in a fight between the two of them. But anyhow, this is a Deadpool as far as I'm concerned. So that's why he has been added to my collection. And because I've got no other figures to unbox yet, I will unbox this that I purchased and have not taken out of the box yet. And I don't know anything about him. I really don't. So it's going to be a total review or reveal to me in that regards. I'm having a heck of a time with my computer over here. I hope this thing's still recording. It says that it is, because um, I've lost all feed and everything over here. The computer's just frozen. I hate this computer so much. I just don't have $1,000 or whatever to buy a new laptop with because I'm spending them on figures. I mean, it's difficult to even buy a display case, so I'd rather buy a figure. You know what I mean? So, you guys have probably already seen this, a million of these out there. It's not necessarily a newly released figure. This is the box. And I think he's a cool looking figure. I mean, I've looked at him a lot for pulling the trigger and buying the figure, and I guess it's from the Arkham movie. Video game is where he came from. So you can tell here where the original owner had opened it and then tried to make it look like they hadn't opened it. And you can see it's been peeled up and then closed up. So it kind of bugs me whenever you go to a site to buy a figure from somebody who already owns it, and they'll say something. I mean, this is literally what they'll say. That's a brand new figure, never been taken out of the box, never been displayed. And then they'll say, but I opened it to make sure it was all there. Oh, come on. Come on. Really? That's the best you got. You opened it to make sure it was all there. I can name like once or twice ever, I think I got something from Hot Toys that wasn't all there. I think one of my videos several years ago, I unboxed an Iron Man that was missing something. But come on. Backdrop. When I first saw backdrops being offered, I was kind of skeptical, and I was like, what do I need this for? I kind of look forward to them now. I kind of like them. I wish this would operate over here so I can see what's going on. Toy Mafia, good morning. CBS Sci-Fi, hello. I am well, thank you. Not only has that been opened, it's, you know, it's filthy dirty from fingerprints. No, it's never been displayed. Just opened it up, make sure it was all there. So like I said, again, I really have no idea even what I'm even looking at. But this is what we get here. We get some hand grenades, some type of a weapon, a firearm. I have no idea even what these are. I don't have any idea. Possibly a, I'm not even going to guess. It's like a sealed, it's obviously a cartridge, you know, a tank filled with something pressurized. And here's some sort of cable or something here. Could be a garrote. Probably one of those climbing cables like Batman likes to use. But this is, I don't have any idea. I'm guessing here. He's going to look cool on my shelf, and that's all that matters. And he's Deadpool as far as I'm concerned. In my story, in my display, it's the DC version of Deadpool. But really, it's backwards. Deadpool's the Marvel version of Deathstroke, right? That's the truth of the matter. I don't think anybody could really argue against that statement. But there he is. I mean, he really looks good. He's so super shiny. He appears metallic. It's just a great looking figure. And and from my understanding, there's many incarnations of Deathstroke. We've got something back here. I think it's like something he ties around his head, like a mask, coming back through here. So we'll go ahead and undo this so we don't totally yank it out. Throwing pieces on the floor here. So he's going to look really super good on this shelf. And he's going to be a little different, you know? A little mix-up in regards to the Deadpool collection goes. I mean, look at this. How pretty that is. There's a nice little shine on it. I really like that. One of his swords. And Pretty cool utility belt. And the sheath for his sword. Don't know if it's a katana because it's so long. Yeah, if you ever pay attention to Hot Toys disclaimers in regards to warranting a product, they only warranty the original purchaser. So if you bought it from me, for instance, and then you found a problem with the unit, like it wouldn't light up, you wouldn't be able to contact Hot Toys or Sideshow or Big Bad Toy Store or whomever, and more than likely have them take care of it. More than likely, you're on your own. But unless the guy's taking the batteries and putting the batteries in there and fully just articulating the whole thing and make sure everything's going to ensure to properly inspect the figure, to make sure that 100% there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, why the hell are they opening it up? And then at the same token, if they're opening it up and stretching it and bending it and putting it all over the place, now how do I know he's not wearing it out and I can't get it to stand in a proper position because he's worked the legs so much to test it that now I can't get it to stand up. So it's the trade-off. Is he installing the batteries in there to make sure the head sculpt works, make sure the repulsor thrusters work in the hands and the chest arc reactor all lights up? Is he doing that? Doubt it. So it's just... I just have a hard time believing, I opened it up just to make sure it was all there. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it. It just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't add up. It really doesn't. Unless they're doing all that. And then now they've really worked the figure over. And this guy, he's then going to put the plastic back on the feet and all that after testing it. How do you test the ankles? How do you test the feet? How do you make sure that they work properly, that they weren't broken, or that they're all there if they wrapped it back up? You know what I'm saying? I don't buy it. So that wasn't the case in this instance. The guy didn't say that. He said it was brand new, and that's why I was pointing out that's been opened. It was brand new, and on eBay you had to put in, brand new, never opened or something. When you check brand new, there's a description that follows behind that, and this obviously doesn't stick with the description. I'm just ranting right now. I'm pleased with it. I paid, like I said, the same price I would have paid if I'd have bought it from Sideshow or Big Bad Toy Store or whatever. So that's all. I'm just ranting. C'est bon, Mason. How you doing? So is Deathstroke then an anti-hero, or is he a good guy, or is he a bad guy, or where does he fit in the DC universe? Do any of you all know, or are any of you DC fans or know enough of Deathstroke to be able to answer that? Because I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Really like this color. Looks really nice. So it looks like he has on a tactical suit underneath this armor, almost like as if he straps the armor on, is what the impression I'm getting out of this. I mean, this looks like tactical gear underneath here, and then this is just like strapped on like you would some type of uniform for playing football or something, putting on your pads. Say, well, Mason, you came into my thoughts the other day. I don't remember what it was I was thinking. I was thinking of a figure or a character, and I was wondering whether or not they would be considered a villain, and if then villain collectors collect him, her, and I don't even remember who the character was. It was in my mind in that regards. And I'm trying to remember what it was that I was thinking about. That I was thinking, gosh, I wonder if you consider that a villain or a neutral character, or are neutral characters then considered villains? When you collect villains, do you collect neutral characters? I don't, for the life of me now, I can't remember which character it was that I was even thinking of. Where's my scissors? Because there's pure villains, obviously. There's characters that are villains, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And then there's characters like Venom, who kind of was a villain, then kind of became an anti-hero, kind of like Deadpool's an anti-hero. You know, is he a villain? Is he an anti-hero? And then there's characters that are purely neutral, like, for instance, the droids in Star Wars. Sure, they may be associated with the Alliance or with, I mean, the Rebel Alliance or the Empire, but they're still really a neutral character. They have no motivation. They're, I mean, obviously when C-3PO had the red eyes, he was supposedly, bad at that point, but he's an artificial intelligence, so could he truthfully be a villain? But I don't remember what character it was that preempted that thought or that question for me. Gosh, this guy looks great. All right, here's the instruction manual. Deathstroke is 100% a villain. That's good to know. Thank you. So, being in an Arkham Origins box, I assume he's a Batman villain. Because, of course, when they have villains in the comics, they're really a villain over the entire universe, but there's villains that deal directly with heroes, like the Joker and Batman. The Joker is Batman's villain. But you could have Joker be up against anybody. So I'm assuming, then, that he's a Batman villain. And it's funny because I'm pretty familiar with Batman, but not familiar with Deathstroke. So then is he a relatively new hero, villain? Was he made in the 90s? Is that when he came about? And there's the last page. So now I'm going to take a second to peruse through this. I've had that with a few figures. The only one damaged was a Stormtrooper. Now, are you saying damage from Hot Toys? Yeah, I swear I don't remember which Iron Man it was, but there was an Iron Man I opened up and it was a pin in something that wasn't even there. The little piece had come off, and I had to customize it with a paper clip to put the pin back in to hold the piece on him. I don't remember which one it was. It's in one of my old original videos, first year. I bought it brand new from Hot Toys, or well, Sideshow or whoever. Two styles of armor chest plate. So that must be what this is. Normal armor and battle damaged armor. What? So this is battle damage when it's half the size? Doesn't make any sense to me. Comes off pretty easily. It's held in with pegs, but I don't understand how. I don't under. So this is called normal, and that's called battle damage. They both look to be the same battle damage. It's a matter of the size of it. So they call normal and battle damage is to say large and small. They both appear to be damaged equally. Interesting. Why would you want the smaller one, I wonder? I'm going to stay with the larger one. I don't see a purpose for the smaller one. I think I'll stay with that. He stands on his own pretty well. Well, here's the answer to my question. Battle damage armor is recommended for better arm movement, butterfly shoulders. The position of the shoulder armors will adjust according to the arm's movement. Do not excessively bend the arms, otherwise the figure will be damaged. So I assume then, if I'm putting him into a position where the shoulders are forward, I'll want to swap out. Yeah, I can see right here, those shoulder pieces are going to bang right into that. So that's what the smaller one is. It's funny that they call it battle damaged armor. So depending on how I decide to pose him will determine which chest piece that I go with. Very interesting. So in the meantime, I'm going to remove this piece also till I determine how I'm going to do him. Because just as they were saying, this as this moves forward, these pieces really will just bang right into that. And you don't want to do that with the butterfly shoulders that he has here for posability. Ask a silly question, get a straight answer, right? He looks good. I really like the shine on this blue and the orange. You definitely don't look like Deadpool. Deadpool appears well, not the MCU, but the Fox created Deadpool appears streamlined in regards to things because it's not all armored out. So I'm wondering then, is Deathstroke always armored as such, or is this just a special version of him? You have an errant string on this bag. Cut that off. This pouch here. So is he always armored as such, or was this in response to the armored Batman? This little figure stand. Crotch grabber. I don't I don't know if I'll even use this, because he's Deadpool as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. I might or might not. It's got a big staff here. Deathstroke and Batman, but I know him more for being the villain of the Teen Titans. Okay, and if I remember correctly, Teen Titans was Robin was a Teen Titan, one of the original Teen Titans, wasn't he? Hulkbuster arm arrived. Is nice. I spent 3 hours changing out. Right, even with the tool in place, nothing moved. Oh, it's a hassle. I remember doing that. Holy smokes! Tried a hair dryer, then WD-40, then screwdriver. Finally dremelled. Oh, what? Wow. Then only a few millimeters of travel on one side, so I put it face down on my right knee in the rib area, the left by the traps, both hands around the shoulder ball, and just kept increasing the pull well over 100 pounds. What? Holy smokes. And pop it came out, then 2 minutes to put it in the new arm. If I ever do this again, I might remove the lugs and put grub screws in instead. Looks great though, and I got it worked out. Yeah, I mean, I played with it live when I did the unboxing, and it was a hassle, just as you're experiencing or referring to. I didn't have that much difficulty. Holy cow! Smaller one holds the sword in the front of him with both hands. The smaller one holds the sword in front of him with both hands. Smaller one, this one. Gotcha. Yes, something fell off from my Mark 7. No idea where from. Can't see anything missing. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I think after I changed out that arm, I decided I was never putting the other arm back on. It was so much of a workout doing that to the Hulkbuster. Once I did it, done, one and done. It was really a hassle. It's a lot of work. So yeah, I'm 100% with you. But it was really interesting that that was there in the design with the first Hulkbuster they released, and they were showing the arm when Hulkbuster was on tour. So Hulkbuster was such a story. You know, they announced him in 2015, like March or April of 2015, and then they continually made revisions, continually made revisions, continually made revisions. Originally, the I don't even think I don't remember even what the if the head was just supposed to open it up, and then they had a bust inside. I don't remember if the bust was part of the original first draft of it. It may have been. I think the bust was originally, and then the helmet was supposed to retract into the back, and we ended up not even getting that piece, and they did away with the just the bust and turned it into a full on. You could put the whole figure into it. Then they put die cast pieces in him, and they teamly made changes, and they were showing him with this arm on it when he was making the circuit, but they never announced that as a full on upgrade as the Hulkbuster came out. But obviously, when the Hulkbuster arrived in 2018 or whatever it was, um, that piece was there to be able to do that. So I don't know. I think Hot Toys sometimes is too secretive and doesn't make well enough decisions. Sometimes I don't know what's going on at the Hot Toys team. Sometimes I mean I really wish they could do better. Oh, this thing, what in the world is that? Wait a minute. Remove the head sculpt. Wear the utility belt on the figure's shoulder in the direction as shown. Snap the indicated buttons to secure the position on the belt. Complete as shown. Snap the indicated buttons. Oh, I see. Is that what these are? No. Why do you have to remove? Oh, because it goes over his arm. They made this clear plastic for some reason, almost as though it's supposed to light up. I don't see any batteries in here. They made the neck ball clear, but not large like on the older Iron Mans. Really interesting. Wonder why. Obviously, it's the helmet's not clear. Like that eye, it almost appears crazed. Can you see the eye in there? Wires on these so you can pose them in the wind. I like that. So there's a little peg or whatever right there. You see next near my finger, that little round thing, and it appears that it snaps. I'm trying to figure this out, looking at the figure here, as to where it snaps onto it. Nothing looks exactly like the photograph. Just the back of him, perhaps? Let's look at this for a second, figure out what this is. So that's the little fish scales on his sides. I swear nothing looks exactly like this picture. Oh, but I found the little button. Right there. Right there is where it's supposed to snap into, I guess. You know what? That's the glue residue from the button that's stuck into the figure. That's a snap, like you would buy at Joann's Fabrics or whatever if you're making snaps. That's a snap. It's supposed to be glued into this. Obviously, whoever owned it before put it on there, ripped it off, left the piece in there. So now it's not on here. Yep. Jeez. Right? That can't possibly be the little button for this, is it? Come on. Because there's no feeling there. It's totally smooth. Yeah, that doesn't snap in there. That's got to be a broken snap on that. Has to be. Oh, wait a minute. What in the world is this then? Ah, jeez. Okay. So as I continue to examine this, that was wrong what I was saying. Here's the little pegs right there by this silver. Not this. So what the hell is that? Just this that holds this on? Jeez. So these little pegs go in there. So now I feel bad for saying all that smack. Oh well. You guys thought I was joking when I tell you I don't look at any of the other videos until I have a chance to examine the figure for myself. I want to learn the figure on my own. I don't want to be tainted by anybody else's opinions. I want to form my own opinions. Well, this is going to be difficult to snap on, though, no matter. Does it go underneath the shoulder armor? Yeah, it sure does. So, um, with as close as that is to that, I think I'm not going to snap that on until I know for a fact where it's going. Probably, jeez, whether I'm going to use the big armor piece or the small armor piece. So we'll keep this off for the time being. Let's see, A, B, C, D. So this attaches. So once this is on him, which will go in this area, this will attach here. Interesting. So you unsnap this little loop here. Then put this in. Only goes in one way. And then you'll snap it back in place to hold it in place. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's well engineered. Then it shows its firearm going into its holster. This looks like the same style of pistol that Deadpool uses as well. And I don't know what kind of pistol this is. Desert Eagle, maybe? No idea. You have a magazine. Slide. In case you're doing stop motion, but it doesn't stay back. Oh, the trigger. Trigger actually moves on this. That's pretty neat. Or, well, the hammer. The hammer moves on this. Add to the realization for you stop motion people out there. That's pretty cool. They have the hammer cocked, fired. I've not noticed that in any other firearm. Maybe I just haven't paid any attention. It's a pretty cool holster. Good helping him out on that. Wasn't sure what the piece was. Hand grenades. Going some loops. Here's one of the loops right there. Is there another one on the other side? Two loops here. Appears to be two loops right next to each other. Right there. There's the grenades. Two of those. Yeah, my Mark 7 diecast, there's little pieces that come off of his back rib cage. Is it the ones you're talking about? Little bitty pieces are always falling off. Anytime you pick it up, they fall clean off. I'll show you them. I'll show you the one. I bet you that's exactly what you're talking about. It sounds like. These little pieces right here. Is that the one you're talking about? These always fall off. Sounds like that's the ones you're talking about. Like as soon as you touch your figure, bam, they come right out. Especially if you have the wings deployed. Or if you have it in battle pod or pod mode with the little pieces on there, they always seem to just fall clean off. Now the plastic ones don't have those pieces, so you don't have to worry about those falling off if you have a plastic Mark 7. They're not on them. It's molded into the body that piece is. Yeah, as soon as I seen Ian talking about it, that's what came to my mind. First I was like, which piece are you talking about? Yep, sure enough. I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one that has that problem, I guess. It's nice to know we're all suffering from that. Oh, the staff comes apart. Oh, I see. Interesting. So I'm assuming then it's a telescoping staff. So you can either have it retracted or open. Or residue or something on this one. So then if you remove those, you put in its stead these two little end caps right here. Onto the handle to show the staff retracted. I see. And there's a retracted staff. And then these would go on it to make it the extended staff. Interesting. Two style staff ends can be interchanged, sewn, expanded, and collapsed. Use the indicated hands to hold the staff. So these are the relaxed hands. And then we have a grasping or relaxed hand, holding, it's kind of like Red Skull has a hand like this for holding the cube, or choking somebody with it, or could actually also be a relaxed hand. And then we have a trigger finger hand. I'm assuming this is then a hand grenade hand. Could be a sword hand. Yeah, the fists are in the wrong spots. Two full-on fists. And then two staff hands. Yeah, this guy's been out of his package totally. Because the two fists were here and the two staff hands were here, when it should have been staff hands, fists. I would assume, why would you have them opposite of each other, right? So I would assume they should have been together. I would assume. I don't know. Don't know. I thought it really needs to start using magnets more. Yeah. Truthfully, the way that they did the Iron Legion, I thought was going to be a way that they were going to do the Iron Man suits, and they didn't. If you own an Iron Legion, if you remember, it opens up totally different than any other Iron Man suit or War Machine. It doesn't open up like any of those suits. It has its own thing in regards to getting the batteries in there and all that. It's really neat. And I was like, oh, this is great. I hope they do that with all the next figures. They didn't. They didn't do it at all. Remote claw. Okay. The claws can be attached onto the remote claw in the sequence as shown. The claws and tip can be attached onto the remote claw in the sequence as shown. Only the indicated claw is equipped with the articulated function. Use the indicated hand to hold the remote claw. And that's this. So what do we got? This one. The one with the finger straight out. It's for this remote claw. And the remote claw appears to be articulated. So that's how the hand will hold it as such. That's pretty neat. There's a little gauge there. This camera does not focus up close, does it? Look at these pictures. This claw appears to be articulated. Okay, so one is not, and one is. All right, and the one that is not attaches to this as such, and then the one that is articulated attaches to it. And you can do one of these things, I guess, with it. That's what they're showing in the picture. Or out. Oh, look at that. They're connected. Pretty cool. What in the world happened to my YouTube channel over here? I hate this computer. I really do. Or the other thing it says you can do with this, evidently, is put this piece on it. And you have one which is skinnier than the other, because on these insides, one is fatter than the other. The articulated one is the fatter one. So you would attach this to that. And I guess it's a magnet. Is it a magnet? Yeah, really small little magnet, just enough to just keep it in there. I can feel this little bitty tension, I think. Pretty sure I feel tension there. I mean, it's holding it. Not well, though. Maybe it's not a magnet. It feels, it may just be the resistance of the plastic against the plastic. I'm inclined to believe it's a magnet, but it might not be. Certainly not attaching to my knife here. It's not drawing to each other, so it must just be the tension of the plastic touching the other piece of plastic, just enough to hold it in place. Sure feels like it's magnetic though, but there's no attraction. It's not pulling itself to it. So I assume this would be great for whatever posability or, again, stop motion or whatever you're doing as such. That's neat. And then we get wrist pegs. Says that the sword is very sharp. Don't poke yourself with it. So, where does the claw go if he's not shooting it? It's just an accessory he doesn't carry with him. Kind of pulls it out at the last minute. Happy Saturday, Robert. By the way, Venomized Iron Man. I'm sure you guys seen that. I guess there's a whole series of Venomized stuff, a whole comic line or something of Venomized characters. And one of the things I thought was interesting is there's a Venomized Spider-Man, and I was like, huh? Because Spider-Man, depending on the origin story, Spider-Man got the symbiote but didn't know it was a symbiote, and then it became Venom. So I don't understand how it could be a Venomized Spider-Man where it's kind of like half Spider-Man, half Venom. I don't understand that, because he originally was, or whatever, Spider-Man. Well, not really originally was, depending on, again, the origination story, whichever one you want to follow. But I kind of thought that was weird, because the Venomized Spider-Man would just be Venom, or, the black suit Spider-Man. But I thought that Venomized Iron Man looks really, 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 really good. So I'll definitely be ordering that. 2022 is the expected delivery on that. Q2, Q3. Holy smokes. Well, that's a long time away. For real. That's a very long time away. They made a life-size Venomized Groot, and that didn't even pique my interest at all. The replacement buttons for something on this. But the Venomized Iron Man definitely has my attention. But, kind of like I said in the video, if you happen to have seen my preview video that I posted of that, I truthfully wish they would focus on providing us with the continuation of the series of figures that we're already collecting. You know, they're really, in my opinion, stretching themselves so thin. You know, we don't ever get to finish anything. Like, one of the biggest complaints that I hear occasionally from collectors is we have Tonto no Low Ranger. You know? So I would love to see the rest of the Iron House Party Protocol. I would love to see all of the Spider-Men from the video game. You know, I doubt we're going to get all 40 of them or however many there are of those. Some of you guys would probably love to see some more Stormtroopers or whatever they're missing out of the Star Wars collections. And I don't know what's missing from there. Yellow Jacket sure would be nice from Ant-Man. Ghost, wasn't that her name from Ant-Man and Wasp? That villain? Not even a hint of that. How about Tessa's Valkyrie? You know, figures even that they've shown us, which they've never delivered. The rest of the team suit of the Quantum Realm suits. The rest of the Avengers team. You know, truthfully, I could see just buying like the Tony Stark one and then putting, you know, Chris Evans' head on it and Ant-Man's helmet on it and Hawkeye's head on it or whatever, and that might work to some degree. But you're still going to need a War Machine. You're still going to need a female character, and on top of that, Black Widow and Nebula are not the same height. And you definitely need a Rocket, and you definitely need a Hulk. And so far, all we've gotten that's been actually made available for purchase is the Tony Stark one, and they've shown us the Captain America one. It's never been announced. And here they are, they're making this Venomized Iron Man. Now, don't get me wrong, Iron Man's a popular figure. The MCU Iron Man is. And come on, Venom, of course, is a no-brainer. So they're chasing the dollar doing that, but they really need to focus. They really need to focus and complete these series. They need to just focus. So I have a feeling I'm not putting him in any real action pose. Probably not gonna have this in his hands. So I'll go with the larger chest piece. I like the color, the blue and orange. Really looks good. And the suit looks great. This just looks really cool. How's it going, man? I'm finally back to see your new figures. Welcome back, Luis Vega. Toys R Us Juggernaut. Yeah. Hello. Love him. I'm glad I own one myself. Hell yeah. I just wish I had got Colossus 2.0 or 1.0. Right? I got them both. Love them. I'm glad I got a hold of those. I'm glad I got the Bullet Head Poison. Another great figure. I've missed out on so many recently because everything in the world is coming out now. I'm really going to have to try to track down one of those War Story female Venom, what do you call them, Spider Queen or whatever, Dark Spider, something is the actual name of it. I so wanted both of those, the deluxe and the regular version, so really badly wanted one of those. Wanted both, actually, and ended up missing out on that. They're all sold out, so I have to track it down. You know, there's a... it's so difficult to try to stay on top of things. You know, when you're dealing with $300 and $400 figures, how do you possibly stay on top of it as such. Let's see if I can figure out from this artwork. Nope, no hint there where this goes. And put the pouch in the front. Yeah, so when you end up getting a really good figure like that Juggernaut, you count your stars. You say, yeah, I'm glad I was able to get a hold of that. So where does this go? Down here? Well, let's put these in. Yeah, the Juggernaut turned out really nice. There's a Michelle figure right now. Uh, there's another Ned Leeds that's out wearing the school. Well, not out for pre-order, wearing the school jacket. Um, there's what else have I ended up missing out on? Where did that go? There it is. My little grabby. So sometimes, I luck into being able to get a hold of these figures at the right time. Sometimes I just say, God, man, I wish I could get it right now, and I just don't see it in the budget. Did I pick that up? Then you end up having to chase it down later. Becomes a grail. I've got so many figures coming over the next handful of months. I guess Star-Lord and Ant-Man will be popping soon because people have received those figures, right? And the Mark 47 as well. I reordered those. 2 of those I reordered. So because they're shipping now, I've got to make sure I've got $1,200 for all of that. Not quite sure where this piece goes. Maybe it goes over this. So how does this go? Maybe these go. Maybe this. It's got to go there. Some assembly required. That appears to snap into something. Could it snap into that? No. That doesn't make any sense. Should I just take this belt off? almost doesn't seem big enough to go together here. What am I doing wrong? This doesn't go under it, does it? No, it can't go under it. It has to go over it. Can't make it longer. Doesn't undo. This belt don't come off. Gosh, what a hassle. Sheesh. That was more work than it should have been. It was way more work than it should have been. Sure looks good though. It's coming along nicely now. Of course, this goes in only one spot. Is there a hole in his back for it too? Sure is. So we'll go through the belt and into the hole in his back. That's probably the most secured attachment I've ever seen. You know, Deadpool's sheath for his blades are magnets. This bad boy is not moving. Good or bad, it's not moving. So he has shotgun shells and no shotgun. What do you think of that? Yeah, right. All the different Boba Fett's. Boba Fett again, though, is a very popular character. So, you know, to that degree, I understand that. You know, but yeah, come on, finish up what's going on. Help us complete our collections. For real. You know what I mean? So does he carry this, or is this like a special purpose weapon that he goes to the trunk of his car and pulls out and uses it at that point? Same thing with this staff. Where does the staff go when he's not wielding it? Any thoughts on that? Sure, it looks cool. Does he wear this on his back or anything? He's got little cargo pockets back here. So for dramatic effect, do these like blow in the wind? Is that how you would pose these? That looks pretty cool. I'm digging this. What do you guys think? See if we can put some light on without washing him out. Well, that wasn't the plan. It's kind of I don't know what you would call this blue. Probably on the camera it's a lot lighter blue than it really is. Pretty close to just a regular blue. But he looks great. I'm pleased with him. Let's get this snap in here to hold his sheath in. I'm digging him. You see his eye? I think he's going to be posed just like that, just there. Because the Deadpool shelf already is like full with all the Deadpools that are there. And such. I'm ready to buy more Detolfs. I mean, let me show you the Deadpool shelf. there's like no room for anybody as it is. And every time I turn around, Deadpool's grabbing stuff from other characters. Looks like he's snatched Ben Kenobi's table now. That wasn't there before. He's always snatching stuff. But this is where he will belong. Somewhere in here, he will fit. Somewhere amongst all those Deadpool. And Juggernaut, he's a beast. I have him on the Thanos stand. Thanos stands well on his own. Both of them have standing on their own pretty well. So I'm not using that figure stand. So I decided to put it to Juggernaut. I'm not too sure how much longer he'll stand on his own. I didn't have any feeling that he was loose, but I felt that I would go ahead and do that. I mean, these guys stand well, but Venom will not stand on his own very easily. He definitely needs a stand. So I decided I better probably prepare for Juggernaut as well, just in case. Yeah, Juggernaut looks great. Speaking of Deadpool, that's why we're looking at the Juggernaut now. Really looks really good. Really pleased with that figure. He's huge. I mean, you can see here's a Mark 41 Retro next to him. He's huge. Huge, 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 huge. I don't have the money to get Michelle and Ned. I surely want them. And I surely wanted that Queen of the Dark Spider. Yes, oh my God, what a good price on that. I bet it looks beautiful. Robin's archenemy, is that who he is? He's actually Robin's anti-character. He's always fighting Robin. Because, yeah, that makes sense because someone had said that he was part of the Teen Titans story. And Robin was a Teen Titan. $207 on eBay, free postage, most likely no other charges. Yeah, I've seen the Queen Spider there, man. I said I wish I could have got her when she was out. She didn't take her long for a ship, and I just don't. I mean, right now, I've got. I know I'm going to be told in a matter of weeks to pay for my Ant-Man and to pay for the Star-Lord and to pay for the Mark 47s. Literally, that's $1,200 that I'm gonna have to come up with, all probably in 1 month, and I just can't afford to get any other figure at this point because of that. You know, I mean, add that up, $1,200 in a month. Sheesh. I don't like to think about it. I had called. I had to talk to the Big Bad Toy Store a couple weeks ago on the phone, and I was telling them how many figures I've got on pre-order with him. And I said, why did you make me add this up? I said, the last thing you ever want to do is to tell somebody when they're playing. I don't know if any of you guys have ever gone gambling or anything like that, or if you've ever played craps in a casino. The one thing you never really want to do is look at the table and see how much money you got on the craps table, because it'll make you cry if you actually realize how much is sitting on there of your money in the middle of a game. And they're like, talking about all the figures I've got on pre-order, and it's like $7,000 or $8,000. I'm like, why would you make me even? Why? Why would you tell me? Why would you point that out to me? I don't want to think about that. Jeez, that's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy. It's insane. And that's just a Big Bad Toy Store, let alone 1/6 Kit, 1/6 Outfitter, and Toys Wonderland, and all these other companies, and Sideshow's figures that I've ordered, and whatever else. Oh my God. Like I said, take 250 figures or whatever I have now, multiply it times, on the average, $300. It'll make you cry. It'll make you cry. Teal? I don't know if it's teal. Teal is a little more green. It's really close to actual blue, you know. This shirt's blue or dark blue. This is pretty close to like real blue. It's nice. I really like it. I hope the light gives it justice so you can see how pretty it really is looking at it here. It's really a good looking figure. Just looks nice. Deadpool's twin brother. Yep. Juggernaut AK. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Right. Juggernaut aka Thanos. Maybe they don't want you getting in debt. Right, no doubt. Do you realize you've got this much money set aside? Which why they told you. Jesus. Oh. But yeah, you end up passing or missing out on such great figures at times, and then you have to chase them down later. This being one of them. I really wanted it when I first saw it because I immediately recognized it and justified it as being a Deadpool, the DC version of Deadpool. And I'm kind of doing that with all the Deadpools there, collecting every version of Deadpool that there is. And I was like, well, I got to have the DC version of Deadpool. Slade Wilson to go with Wade Wilson, right? Kind of like the Spider-Verse now. Oh, there's a 1/10 Penny and Spider, or however you say it, made by Iron Studios. It's a statue, right? And as I was looking at it, um, I'm justifying it to myself that Hot Toys will never make that figure. I almost pretty much guarantee you that we won't see that made by Hot Toys. It's just logistically wouldn't be able to stand up properly on its own. The legs are just, they wouldn't be able to support the weight of the body. So as I'm looking at it and I'm taking measurements of it, I'm like and comparing it to the posters that were used to show the movie of Spider-Verse. It doesn't look that far out of scale based on the size of the 1/10 figure that they're claiming that it is. It's pretty doggone close to the actual height compared to the lineup of all the figures on the where are they on the bridge, and you have them all lined up there, and Penny's on the end, I think, and she appears to be pretty much the same height with her on top of Spider as Gwen is. And as I was looking at this 1/10 version of Penny and Spider, I think it's like 10 inches tall or something to that effect, squatted down in the condition that it's in. And I was saying to myself, that would probably work as a 1/6 scale representation of Penny and Spider. So, wanted to share that with you guys because I doubt seriously we'll ever get a 1/6 Penny and Spider. I really don't think so. There's a version of the Spider Noir that's been made. I think is closer to the comic than to the movie. And we have Spider Ham that comes with the Spider Gwen from Hot Toys. And Peter B. Parker's coming out from, who was it that made that? I forget who. So essentially we'll have with that all of the spiders from Spider-Verse, right? And but no one's made any of the villains like Kingpin or Tombstone or the Doctor Octopus from the cartoon Enter the Spider-Verse, that version of Doc Ock, and the Scorpion, that version of the Scorpion. So no villains yet. But I was looking at that and justifying that Iron Spider's 1/10 statue of Penny and Spider, I think would be a good representation of 1/6 in your collection of doing that. It's kind of like the 1/9 scale King Arts Avengers style gantry really is a 1/6 scale gantry. Even though they claim it's 1/9, it's 1/6. So just thought I'd throw that out there also. Rambo 2, $300 still cheaper than a Hot Toys, right? Put him next to Dirty Harry, Die Hard, Rambo, the Terminator in India. I bet he looks good. I bet he looks good. I don't understand that Terminator 800 or whatever that was announced last week. I don't know if he's from the television series or what. I don't recognize him from the movies, and I've not seen all the Terminators, so I don't know. But it's supposed to be a T800 or something, and but it doesn't look like any T800 that I recognize. But I'm sure the your Terminator guys out there are familiar with what incarnation of T800 it's supposed to be. Because I thought Arnold was the first T800, right? Dirty Harry, Die Hard, Rambo, and the Naked Bison. Arnold flashing people. Look at me. I'm the centerpiece. Arg, arg, arg. Arg. So, what else we got going on? So I don't know what I've got coming that will be here by next Saturday. But some figures are supposed to come on Wednesday. Some figures are supposed to come on Friday. But because of the fires here in California, half of the entire state is on fire right now. Everything gets pushed back to later than normal. So I don't know when they'll actually arrive. If nothing else arrives, we'll just sit around and shoot the shit like we normally do. Talk about this and that, whatever else. What have I done different this week? I did something. Don't remember. My Mark 35, I had to do some repairs to. The glue that I'd used in the customization had literally just started losing its cohesion. So I'd used crazy glue, and I used model glue, and I used um, hot glue, and all of them on that piece are just starting to lose their hold. So as I was doing that, I was just thinking of all these other custom figures that somebody might buy. As the years progressed, it was like 5 years ago that I customized that, and I had to re-glue a lot of pieces back together again this last week. So it just made me think of people who make custom figures. If these pieces just start falling off on them, when you're gluing plastic and plastic, it's the same plastics. You're not going to have a problem. Or if you're gluing, if you're attaching metal to metal, then they're the same metals. You're not going to have a problem. But when you're attaching metal to plastic and such, and the two different materials, then you have to have some type of a creative means to get them to apply. And the one of the arm just literally fell clean off. I had to glue it all back together again. He was one of my first customs. So I'm a little worried about some of the others that I've had to glue over the years where they weren't the same material gluing together. Because he's metal and plastic, a lot of him is. So I had to do that. Oh, and I put my Star Wars, put my Jabba over here after getting them out. So I decided to put them together. And put my other TC-14 protocol droid down there, holding the tray. Pretty much a Fison shelf right there. What else have I got going on? Mark 7s. 3, 4s, and 6s on the Mark 5 shelf. And of course, that's where the Mark 35 is, up there on the reveal of the House Party Protocol suits in order as they lined up in the movie. And I cleaned this off to some degree. I don't know how long it'll stay that clean. Keep bashing a Bond. James Bond. Don't know if I'd rearranged any of these since the last time you'd seen them. Oh, I put my bones up there on top. Gotta be careful how much you put on top of the Detolf. The entire Detolf can only hold so much weight. Put the hoochies with my Yoda. I put one of those, it's a Fresnel poster of Spider-Man. It's very 3D. And I'm in the back. You really can't see the 3D effect there, though. Digging my Gwens. The sky is orange. Last night the sun, as it was still high in the sky, right around that high, um, it was just a round orange disc. There was no glare. There was no rays. It was just perfectly round, like a moon. It was pretty good size, about that big or whatever, and it was just an orange disc. And looking out, I thought to myself, I imagine if we were on Mars, this will probably be what the Mars landscape or the air would look like if you're on Mars, because of the constant wind blowing and the atmosphere and whatever is in the air, probably a lot of dust. It was 100 and something last week. Cobra Kai show, I was telling my wife about that we should watch that. I don't know if she'd ever seen the original um, Karate Kid movies, though. Put Yoda in a top hat, pimp coat, and a penguin cigarette. Oh my God, you're kidding me. That'd be too funny. Still waiting on the Flash Gordon. Creepy orange sky, yeah. Um, so it was getting up to 100 at night, a day, and 60 degrees at night. And Governor Newsom was blaming it on climate change. And I'm blaming the heat on the fact that the entire state is on fire. Millions of acres are on fire. And or at least thousands of acres. I don't know if it's millions or not. Thousands and thousands and thousands of acres. Pretty much half the state is on fire, and the entire sky is just covered in smoke and dust. And so the earth has no chance of cooling off, and it just reheats as the sun permeates through it, bounces off of that layer, and the heat's just trapped in here. It has nothing to do with global warming. It has to do with the fact that the heat can't escape. It's my opinion, but I'm no scientist. But it doesn't make any sense. Everybody has fires. Everyone has woods. Everyone has trees. Every state has got some type of a forest someplace, and they all experience fires. But for some reason, every year, California just catches on fire and can't put the fires out. I don't understand that one bit. I don't. I don't know of any other state that has this degree of a problem of wildfires. I don't. I don't know what the problem is. I seriously believe it's mismanagement. My own personal opinion. I don't have any idea. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, rain would be nice. We have it's a Mediterranean climate that we experience here. Part of the Mediterranean climate. There's very little rain in the summer. So like the last time it rains normally is March, and then it won't rain again until middle of October or even November. And then we get like regular rain like the rest of the world gets when it rains, on and off, on and off. But for about 6 months, from March to October, no rain. You're lucky if you get one day of rain during that entire 6 months every year. And that's good for the grapes because I guess the grapes need it to be dry in order for them to be able to produce good wine or something to that effect. And that's why the California wine is become recognized as you know um, good wine per se because of the fact that the grapes are able to be in the weather that we have. So we just don't get the rain. There's no rain now. But I have a hard time believing that's what the fires are because they say fire season doesn't start until normally September. So if that's the beginning of fire season, kind of like hurricane season, I think starts in like August or September too, right? This is like the beginning of fire season. What was going on all the beginning of the rest of the year, you know, in March and April and May when everything was burning then? I don't get it. I don't understand. Something just doesn't add up. Something doesn't make any sense. So I don't know if you guys got anything else you want to talk about. I think I'm about talked out. Um, Thank you, patrons. I love you guys, man. Thank you, um, you guys that have given me things in the years. I still have, I still have every one of your notes and letters that you guys have sent. You're, you're not forgotten at all. And I love my Jean Luc. I mean, don't think for one second that anything you've ever done or given me comes unappreciated. It's really special what you guys are to me, and I appreciate you all. Thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for sharing on the show. You guys really make the show. It's our show. We talk about whatever and everything, and you guys helped each other out, and that's what it's all about. It's a big family, and I hope that you always feel welcome. Hell, if you guys wanted to do something where we did like a joint whatever, or call in, hell, I would do all that, man. I'm up for just about anything. So reach out to me, whatever. I respond to just about every single YouTube comment ever. Pretty rare that I don't respond to a YouTube comment. I see them all, but very reachable. And subscribe to Patreon if you wish to help out. If you wish to help produce the show, throw $1 my way. It's really open. You can make any donation you want. If you really feel generous and want to do a $50 a month donation, you are more than welcome to. There's no limit as to how much money you can donate to become a patron supporter. But even $1 a month helps out so much, and it just makes me know that you guys really do give it a damn. So thank you very much, all patron supporters. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. And like, subscribe, share, tell your friends where they can go. And I think I'm going to hang this up. Where are we at? Flight pod, still in the bag. Still in the bag. I just keep going through my head all the different ways of filling it in, and I'm not sold on anything yet. And the land speeder, I have no idea even what I'm going to do with the land speeder. I mean, it's there. It's totally assembled. It comes, assembled. I just have no idea how to put it together, where to display it. And I really need to get a C3PO that I can rip his legs off. I've got C3POs over here, but I don't want to rip their legs off. I really need to buy another Sideshow C-3PO, and I need to get hold of a Luke, and I need to get a Han Solo, and I need a couple more Sand Troopers to being able to display that. Then I got to figure out where the heck am I going to display it. It's kind of like this Monaco GP style of car that I have here, which is going to be one of these days part of the Mark V display with Whiplash. So there's so many big pieces of this Camaro. I have no idea what I'm even going to do with that. I've always wanted to paint it like my Bumblebee, but it's I think it's supposed to be actually like 1/5 scale, but I'm pretty sure it's 1/6 scale. It's close enough one way or the other. It works, but none of my characters, from my understanding, own a Camaro. So I'll just pretend that somebody does. I own a Camaro. I own a Bumblebee. So, and my Crossbones, he's still only half done. You know, when they came out with him, what they call him? He really came with the wrong pants. I put the right pants on him. So that was one of the things I had to do. Was change out the pants. The pants were wrong. He came with black pants when in fact it's a dark camouflage was what he was wearing. So I bought the dark camouflage pants. I put dark camouflage pants on him. And then what he also does not have is he doesn't have the chest piece here. So I have this busted up Rubbermaid dish. I'm going to see if I can't cut out a square and put it on there and make it a chest piece for him. But this was a AI doll. I forget what they called it. But it's supposed to be Crossbones. But that's where they lacked in. They gave him black pants and they didn't put the chest piece on there. So I need to do that for him. What other projects have I not finished? Can't think of any other project I still have ongoing. He's holding him by his head. His head popped off. He landed softly though, in comparison to other figures that sometimes don't land so softly. Oh, I'm still working on the shelf for the Detolf. I think that's everything that I've got going on in regards to projects. I think. Need to complete that flight pod. Does he still own his? I think he sold his Camaro when he got. I think he got a divorce. Mine's a 2010, and I think his was a. I don't know if his was an authentic Transformer Camaro. Mine is a officially licensed Hasbro product, and signed an agreement between Chevrolet and Hasbro in 2009. They signed the contract in July, like the third week of July, and they went on sale that very next day. They had one that they had on show at the 2009 San Diego Comic-Con. And that was like revealed like the day before the contract was finalized with Hasbro. And so that day you could order them, and they were only available to order from Chevrolet until December of that year. The last ones came off of the assembly line in January. And mine was one of the first ones. I've only found one other one that has an older VIN, and I only know of two other Transformer Camaros, one of them being owned by Scott Settlemeyer, which was one of the godfathers of the Camaro, and the other one is the San Diego Comic-Con car. Both of those would be older, non-VINed Camaros for the Transformer package. But there's only one other one I've seen that is older with the actual Transformer build code on the sheet. If you're familiar with cars, they have a 3-character build code on them. Like a Z28 is actually a build code for a Camaro to make it a Z28, for instance. Or so for the Transformer code to order the officially licensed product, you had to order code CTH, and that's the Transformer code. And there's only one other one ever that I found which has an older build date than mine, and it's this. She lives here in California also, but every other one that I've come across of the 2010s that are official CTH Camaros are older, and they only made 808 of the ones configured that like I have. So it's a pretty limited run on that, and I love it to death. So it's not exactly like the movie car, um, but it is the licensed Hasbro version of the car. And there was a $995 option to get the Transformer badge and the special stripes and the embroidered armrests and the door sill plate and the hubcaps and all of the things that they did on it to make it separate as a Transformer. And a lot of people have bought those pieces or have bought a yellow Camaro and made it into a Bumblebee and with the Autobot emblem on the side too, and have made their car Bumblebee. But mine actually came from Chevrolet, from the manufacturer through an agreement with Hasbro as an officially licensed product as such. So essentially, I have a 1-to-1 scale toy, a Transformer car. So, and that's, when I buy the cars, which I have a lot of them, I try to get the ones that are the most realistic appearing in their creation. A lot of times they'll make them more toy than they will realistic, and I pass on those. I don't care for those. But to show you a couple that I have here in this room, most of them are out in the garage. Show you a couple of ones I have here in this room. This is a pretty accurate one. I've not taken out of the package. That one. And this is a whole mess of Transformers here that I've kind of gone through. But this also, one that actually has the Autobot emblem on it. So reminds me, I had a kid over the summer coming and help me work on the garage. I got Bumblebee all covered up, He didn't know what kind of car was under the car cover. He just seen the car cover. So he's seen all the toys, all the Camaros in the boxes in the garage, probably 10 or so of them in there. He says, "Oh, is that your dream car?" And they're all Bumblebees. I'm like, "No, that's my car." He goes, yeah, I know. He says, 16-year-old kid. He goes, "Yeah, I know. That's what I'm asking you. Is that your dream car?" And I'm like, "No, that's a representation of my car, my car." He goes, "Yeah, I see them. You have a bunch of them there. I understand. That's your car. That's your dream car. You want to get one of those one day." And I'm like, "No, romp. That's my car." And he's like, eyes that big, And that's the most fun thing of owning the Bumblebee Camaro is how it affects other people. Some people don't give a damn about it. Some people have no interest in it. It talks to Camaro fans. It talks to Transformer fans. It talks to the movie fans. And every day that I do drive it, and I don't drive it every day, I've only got, gosh, it's an 11-year-old car now. I've only got 35,000 miles on it, but which is a lot compared to some people who have like 0 miles on their cars. But it's not like people have 160,000 miles on their car in 11 years. So anyhow, whenever I do take it, any place I go, no matter where it is I go, and I'm not trying to jinx myself, but somebody says something every single time. or I'll see them taking a picture of the car, or they'll give me a thumbs up or something as they go by. It's the car just touches people whenever they see it. I don't know if it brings back, a childhood memory to when they've seen the movie, or if they have they're a fan of the Transformers, or a fan of the Bumblebee, or a fan of the Camaro, or whatever. But it just has that. There's a certain aura of magic to the car, and it's just so fun owning that because of that. So many people enjoy the car as much as I do, and when you realize that other people consider it a dream car of theirs, or still enjoy that, the nice thing about that is it maintains the value of the vehicle. So, not that I ever have any intention of ever selling it, but it's nice to know that it's still a desired vehicle. And it's now 11 years old. Its birthday was August 19th, was the day it rolled off the assembly line in 2009, August 19th. And to know that it's an 11-year-old car and still looks brand new. People don't realize that it's an 11-year-old car. It's amazing. I mean, I remember when I was young, an 11-year-old car looked like an 11-year-old car, looked like it was on its last leg. It's been run to the ringer, probably falling apart and rusted all up and dented and whatever else. And Bumblebee's in excellent condition, like still like brand new, showroom condition. It's amazing. Love it. So that's my Bumblebee. The story of that, kind of. So Mary Jane's and Michelle's. I kind of got, a thing going on over here of the girls. I got the Spider Gwen's. I would do that. Always be a Volkswagen to you, right? The Batmobile or Kit, right? Or a DeLorean, right? The Back to the Future DeLorean. And here's the thing about that. Talking about 3.0 or best. They made all the Bumblebees. They never made the 2010 Bumblebee. So, and actually in the first movie, there's two versions of Bumblebee. You have the 1978 or 77 or whatever Bumblebee, and then when he transformed into the Camaro, the 2010 Camaro, and it was a 2007 was when the movie came out, so obviously he wasn't transforming into 2010 Camaro because there was no Camaro that you could buy at that time. But when he transformed into that would be two versions of Bumblebee from that movie. They never made that. The oldest Bumblebee statue that you can get from 3.0 or whoever it was making all of those Bumblebee statues is not from that movie. They don't make a Transformers 1 Bumblebee. They make a Dark of the Moon, Revenge of the Fallen, or whatever Bumblebee, but they don't make a 2007 movie Bumblebee statue. You can buy all sorts of toys for them, but they don't look real. They don't look like Bumblebee did in the movie, and that's unfortunate. And so I won't buy the other statues because that's not the Bumblebee I own. I don't own the 2012 car or the 2009 movie or whatever movies that they came out with, But I have the first movie car. So they never made one of those, and it just bothers me that I think it's 3.0 never made one. It eats at me. I hate that. So I guess I'm going to wrap this up, man. Had you guys for 2 hours. I really love you guys. Appreciate you hanging out. And I'll definitely be here next week. And take care, man. Peace. See you in the next video.